In today's video, we're going to be creating this presentation template in PowerPoint. You can use it for whatever you need, depending on your needs. But yeah, let's get started. So to begin our project, I already have PowerPoint open. You can go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to, as usual, select this two, and I'm going to delete that. Now we're going to insert a shape. So go to insert and we'll go to shapes, and I'm going to insert a rectangle, and I'm just going to draw one here. So what I'm going to do is go to outline and set this to no outline, and I'm going to bring this here, and I'm going to increase the height. Let's change the width to 8, and we're going to have this. Let's change the color of this. Right click, go to format shape, go to fill, go to color, select more colors, and we're going to use this code. So you can go ahead and copy that. This is the color we're going to use. So I'm just going to paste this here, click on OK, and this is the color we have. Let's insert, or let's duplicate this rectangle and change its dimension. So I'm just going to select this rectangle, and I'm going to use Control to create a copy. Let me bring it right over to this corner, and I'm going to reduce the height like this. Let's change the dimension. So width is going to be 9, and the height is going to be 5.6. And I'm going to move this here. Let me use my arrow key to move it down, and this is what we have. Next, let's insert an image. So I'm going to insert pictures, and we're going to insert a stock image, and the keyword we're going to use is project, and I'm just going to search for that. We're going to use this image over here, and I'm going to click on that, and we're going to insert, and we're going to download that image. And let's change the width of this image to 24.5, and we have this. Now I'm just going to center it and then move it just over to this side. Let's insert another shape. So I'm going to go to insert shapes, and I'm going to insert a rectangle. I'm just going to draw that. I'm going to remove the outline, change the fill to white, and I'm going to change the height to 10.5, and the width is going to be 20.5. Now, before we center this, let's add in our text. So I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to go to text box. Let me go ahead and copy our title, and I'm just going to draw a text box, paste in our title. Click the text box, and I'm going to make the font Playfair Display SC, and the size is going to be 54, and I'm going to extend this till we have it like this, and I'm going to center it. I'm going to bring it here. Let's insert another text box. So go to insert text box. Let me grab my subtitle text, copy that, and I'm just going to draw it over here, paste the text, select the text box, center it, change the text to Mongolian Baiti. I think I'm saying it right. Select the text box, and we're going to change this to 24, and we're going to extend this again. Now for the final detail for this, let's select the rectangle once more, shape formats, go to shape effects, shadow, and we're going to select this bottom right shadow. Grab the 3 items, this title and subtitle. For the spacing, there isn't much, like just kind of place it where you feel you're comfortable, and just kind of place it there. Select this two, and I'm going to go to align, and I'm going to align center. And what we're going to do is select these two, group them, select these two again, go to align, align center, align, align middle, group it again, and go to align, align center, align again, align middle. And yeah, we have this. Let's take a moment to look at it in the slideshow, and I'm just going to open this, and yeah, this is what we have, and we're done with our title slide. Now let's create the second slide. So I'm going to go to new slide, insert a blank slide. Now what we're going to do is insert a rectangle. So I'm going to go to insert shapes, rectangle, and I'm just going to draw this here. I'm going to remove the outline, and I'm just going to bring this, let's see here, maybe we'll still move it again, but I'm just going to extend this. Let's change the width to 8. Now let's change the color. I'm going to right click, go to shape formats, and let's change the color to that brown color we're using. Let me open my file explorer, and I'm going to just bring in an image. I'm just going to select this and copy it into our PowerPoint presentation. So the link for all these images will be in the description below. So I'm just going to change the height of this to 15, and I'm going to bring this while centering it, and I'm going to center it, put it in the middle and also the center of this rectangle. I'm just going to select them, and let me move them to the left a bit. Let's say we have something like this. This is fine. Let's insert our heading. Insert. Let's go to text box. Let me go to my text. I'm going to open my notes, and I'm going to bring this in, and I'm going to paste. Let's change this to playfair display SC. The size is going to be 44. Let me increase the width of this, and we have this. Let me kind of let me just align it to the top of that image. Now we're going to have another second text box. So instead of just creating another one, I'm using Shift and Control slide to copy and then still keep the alignment. So I'm going to change this to Mongolian, the Mongolian by T text. I think I'm saying it right, and I'm going to make this 22. Now let's go to our notes, and let's grab the body text. Full disclosure, this is just AI generated text for educational purposes. It's not a real company, it's not a real project, it's not associated with anybody. I just wanted to make it more interesting. The link or the text itself will be in the description below. So if you want to use my text, you can go ahead and just check the description. So I'm going to paste this. Now let's increase the width of this till we have something like this, and I'm cool with the length. So what we're going to do is just select this, make it bold, select duration, make it bold, and scope, let's make it bold as well. And I'm just going to select this text and maybe bring it, give it a bit more space. Let's select this one as well and just kind of bring it down. You could group them and then align to the center, but I'm just going to do this. Alright, we are done with this. Let's take a moment to look at it in the slideshow. And yeah, this is the introduction slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So I'm just going to go to new slide and insert a blank slide. Let's start with an image. I'm going to open my images, and I'm going to grab this image and I'm going to bring it in. Next, I'm going to go to crop, and I'm going to drag this handle here to the right and drag this to the left. I'm going to zoom out to give myself a bit of space and grab the corner and then crop the image. I want this, let's move this even more, let's just, and yeah, we have something like this. And yeah, escape, and I'm going to next, let's insert a rectangle. So I'm just going to go to insert shapes, rectangle, and I'm just going to have this here. Remove the outline, change the fill to our primary color that I've been using. I'm going to change the height to 2.2 and the width is going to be 8. Next, I'm going to duplicate this rectangle. I'm going to change the fill of this one to white. Transparency is going to be 5%. Now let's change the dimensions. Height is going to be 14.5 and the width is going to be 30. Let's grab this and let me move this one so it doesn't cover it entirely. I'm going to bring this to the middle like this, and I'm using my arrow key, just guide me, and I'll use this to move this rectangle here. Now let's insert our text. Go to insert text. Let's go and I'm going to copy this first item, which is the heading or the title, and I'm going to just paste that in. Select the text box, change it to heading text, which heading font, which is Playfair Display SC. Size is going to be 44. Increase the width of this and just move this over to the side here. Let me use my arrow key. I'm just gonna move it to the top. Let's duplicate this text box and I'm going to have it just around here. Change it to our body text and then make the size 22. Let me just reduce this and let's go and grab our first text. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste. Let's create another copy. In fact, let's just create the copies for all our text. I'm going to copy the second item. I'm going to paste it. Let me just extend this. Let's select everything here and we're going to make it a bullet point. Let me move this here. I'm going to reduce this and let's see. Okay, let's just leave it like this. Maybe I'll just move it closer. Let's go and grab the rest of our text. Challenges identified. I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to paste. Extend this so that these two will fit. I'm going to select these two items, make it a bullet point, increase the width of this too. Finally, let's grab the last text. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it in. And yeah, we have this. What I'm going to do now is select this text, make it bold, select this one to bold, come here, select this, make it bold, and finally select this, bold, and now we'll insert some icons. So go to insert, click on icons, and we're just going to give this a moment to load. The first icon, I don't know what it's called, but just it's this first icon here, and we're going to select that. Second icon is going to be calendar, and this one. Third is going to be targets, and we're going to select this icon. Final icon is going to be blueprint. And I'm going to select the second one and we're going to insert all four. While they are selected, change the fill to our color, and now we can start aligning our icons to each individual text. So I'm just going to move this. I'm going to move all of them to or close to their individual text so we can align them properly. Let's start with this first one here. So I'm just going to, let me see, grab this and try my best to kind of eyeball it to move things around. And I'm just going to, let's see, something like this. Let me select both of them, and I'm going to select this icon as well, and I'm going to align it to this one, grab this text, and I'm going to try and, let's see, align it to this one. So I'm just going to check to see that they are spacing at least close enough. All right, let me select these two, go to arrange, align, and we're going to align top, and I'm going to group these two. This icon, this text, arrange, go to align, align top, and I'm going to group. Let's do the same for this two. So I'll just kind of select this two. I'll just move this text, let's see, a bit closer. Maybe we have something like this. Let me also align this icon to this other one, and align this text to this other one as well. So just like we did in the other side, select this two, arrange, align, align top, group, select these two. We're going to go to arrange, align, align top, and group again. Now finally, let's just kind of move things around so that everything fits. I think I'm quite satisfied with the alignment on this side. For this one, these two are touching. I believe they are both touching the edge of this other one. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to select these two and just make sure they are aligned. Okay, they are aligned to the top, and I'm going to use my arrow key to just move both of them down. So since this one is larger, I'm just going to leave this one here as it is. But yeah, let's take a moment to see it in the slideshow. I'm going to open it, and yeah, this is what we have. We're done with this slide. Let's move to the next slide. So I'm going to go ahead and once again create a blank slide. Let's start with a shape. So I'm just going to, while I'm in the home, I'll just go to shapes and just draw a rectangle. Once again, remove the outline, change the fill to our color, and I'm going to bring this here. The height is going to be 9.5, and the width is going to be 4. And yeah, that's it. Next is an image. I'm going to go back to my file and I'm going to grab an image. So this image is going to be this one. I'm just going to bring that in. I'm going to change the height to 16. Now I'm going to grab this image and align it to the middle like this. Not the rectangle, I believe it's, if I'm not mistaken, is aligned to the center. I'm just going to grab this. Let me just make sure. Align to the middle. Align middle. Okay, that's fine. Next, insert text box. Let me grab my text. Next is development fees. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste. I'm going to change this to our title font, which is Playfair Display SC. Size of course is 44. Extend this, and I want it to be on 2 lines like this. And I'm just going to bring this a bit closer like this. I'm going to use my arrow keys. Once again, let me just duplicate this instead of creating a new text box. I'm going to use Control and Shift. Changes to Mongolian Baiti. I hope I'm saying that right. 22. And we're just going to copy the entire thing instead of using multiple text boxes. And I'm going to copy this, paste. I did that wrong. I was supposed to select all before I paste, and I'm just going to extend this. Let me see till we have something like let's see, this let's leave it like this. All right, so I'm going to select this timeline text, make it bold, come to this text, make it bold as well, select these 3 items, make it a bullet point. Okay, we'll still have to extend it, come to challenges, I'm going to copy this, select that and make it bold, select adjustments, make it bold like this. So let me just make it slightly, because we want to add a final detail and we're going to need a bit of space for that. Let me just select this text and move it around. I'm using my arrow key to move it up, so I can just grab a copy of this rectangle and I'm using Control and bring this here. Let's make the width 2.25. And I'm going to bring it here and I'm going to extend this to the bottom here. Alright, we're done with this. Let's look at it for a moment in our slideshow. Open it, and yeah, this is our development phase slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So go to new slide and insert a blank slide. This slide, while we're here, let's change the fill to our primary color that I've been using. Let's open our file. I'm going to open my file explorer and I'm going to bring in my image, and currently it's just set to the height of the slide and I'm going to leave it like that. I'm just going to bring this all the way to the right. Next, let's insert a text. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to insert a text. Let me go to my notes, and the heading for this is testing and feedback. So come here and paste. Now select the text box, change this to play fair display, and we're going to change this to the size to 44. Change the color of the text to white and extend this. I'm just going to move it here. Probably you'll still move it again, but for now let's just leave it here. Next, let's insert a shape. We're going to go to shapes, and I'm going to insert a rectangle here. Remove the outline, change the fill to white. Let's change the height to 12.5 and the width is going to be 23. And we're going to group everything together. We're going to add our text and then group everything together before we center it. Let's go to our notes. I'm going to copy the text and I'm going to go to insert text box, and I'm just going to paste this. So let's change the text, the font. We're going to change it to this Mongolian Bitey, and size is going to be 22. Let me create another copy before I move on to the next one, because we're going to have a second text box here. Let's select timeline, make it bold, select testing process, make it bold. For this remaining content here, select everything, make it a bullet point. And now I'm going to extend this till we have this. I'm just going to, let's move it over like to this side. Next, let's grab the remaining of our remaining text for this section. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste this here. Let's copy all of this and select everything and then make it bold, and select these 2 items, bullet points. Let me extend this. Yeah, and I'm going to select improvements, make it bold. Let me move this in here. Final detail is just a single line. So let's go to insert, and I'm going to go to shapes and I'm going to grab a line. So I'm going to hold shift as I do this, and I'm going to insert the line so that it's perfectly straight like that. So I'm going to go to this and I'm going to make the height 9.5, and let's change the color of our line to that color we've been using, and we'll also increase the weight to 2.14. Now what we're going to do, I'm just going to, let me just move it somewhere like this. All right, now what I'm going to do is select this two. I just want this two. I'm going to go to align, and I'm going to align middle, so the line already looks fine. I'm going to grab this text. Let me see, I'm going to use just my arrow key to move this. Then let me just grab this line. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Don't worry about the details, just do this. And for the alignments for the text, we're just going to make sure that these two texts are aligned at the top, because they are different sizes. So I'm just going to align to the top, and while this is selected, I'm just going to select everything and then group. Select this group and make sure, you know what, let me just use align middle. That feels like it's too much because it's too close to the heading, so I'm just going to use my arrow key to kind of bring it down a bit so that we'll have more space on this top. Here, let me move this so that it's aligned to the rectangle, and yeah, this looks good. Let's look at it in the slideshow. I'm going to click on this, and yeah, we have this. I think there's a bit of this space here. If you want, if you feel like it's kind of bothering you, you can just go ahead and remove it. But yeah, we're done with this. Let's move to the next slide. So once again, go to new slide, blank slide. Let's start with a rectangle. So insert, shapes, rectangle. Just going to draw one here. Set this to no outline, and the fill is going to be this brown color. Let's change the height to 13.6, and the width is going to be 2.25. Next, let's insert our text. So go to insert and then go to text box. I'm going to go to my notes, grab my text, and I'm going to paste. Select the text box. Let's make this heading text, and I'm going to make this 44. And I'm going to extend this, but I want this one to be on a separate line. And I'm just going to have this. And I'm just going to, let's move it here for now. We may still move it depending on how much space is on the other side. So I'm going to just copy this text. I'm using Shift and Control, and I'm going to create a copy. Change this to Mongolian by T. I hope I'm saying that right. 22, and we are going to paste in our text. So I'm just going to go to my notes, and I'm going to paste, copy our text. I'm going to paste it. Let me figure out the spacing. I believe there's a typo here, so I'm just going to select this. I'm just going to add space. So let me come here, select timeline, make timeline bold, key highlights, bold, and we're going to select these three items, and we're going to make it a bullet point. Let's also select this, make it bold. Let's reduce the width of this till we have yeah, something like this. I'm just going to use my arrow key to bring it up and closer to heading text. Let's grab another image. I'm going to go to my images. I'm going to grab this image this time and bring it in. Let's change the height to 9.2. And bring this image so that it's on the right and also on the middle here. Final detail is grab a copy of this rectangle and let's change the height to 8, and we're going to have it here. I'm just going to make sure it's also centered with the image. Let me just use align, and I'm going to align to the middle, and yeah, this is what we have. Maybe there's a bit, I'm saying this white space here, so I'm just going to select both of them, and I'm just going to bring it closer. Okay, so let's take a look at it in our slideshow, and yeah, this is what we have, and we are done with this slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So go to new slide, insert a blank slide. Let's go to our images, and I'm going to grab this image this time. I'm going to change the width to 9.75, and I'm just going to bring it around here. Next, let's insert a rectangle. I'm going to go to shapes, and I'm going to just insert that. Remove the outline, change it to our fill color, and I'm just going to reduce it till it's the same width with our image, and we're going to make the height 3.7. So maybe we'll move it if depending on how presentation comes together, but for now that's fine. So let's go to insert text box. I'm going to go to my notes, copy our title, project challenges, and I'm just going to paste here. Select the text box, change it to the playfair display SC, change the size to 44, and I'm going to extend it. I want them to be on 2 lines, and I'm going to have this. Once again, maybe I'll just move things around. I'll figure out where everything goes when I've added the other text. So I'm going to duplicate this using Control, and I'm going to bring this, change this to Mongolian Baiti, and the size is going to be 22. Let's grab our text, and I'm going to copy that and paste that in. Now let's do some formatting on text. Select this, make it bold, select this to bullet point, select this, make it bold, and we're going to select this and make it a bullet point also. Finally, let's make this bold too. Let's extend this width like this, and yeah, this is what we have. Now we're going to add some icons here. Go to insert, select icons, and we're going to give this a moment to load. Now the first icon is going to be stop, and I'm going to use this one. Second icon is going to be correct, and select this one. Final icon is going to be lesson, and I'm going to select this one. I'm going to insert that. Now we're going to change the color while they are selected. Change the color to the color we've been using, and now let's change their dimension to 1.8. So the first icon is going to come over here. Let's align it with this heading here. Let's bring solutions here, and lesson is going to be here. So let's going to move this so that it aligns. So now I can now bring in this text. I'm going to use my arrow key to just bring it in like this, maybe even closer. We can still move all of this in a bit. So there's no real way to kind of figure out. We can do for this first one, but we can't really do that. So we just kind of eyeball it and just try and align the icons to the text. And yeah, this is what we have. You can group them together if you want, but I'm just going to leave them. So let me just select all of this and I'm going to bring it even closer like this. Okay, so we're done with this. Let's take a moment to look at it in the slideshow. Open this. Yeah, and we're done with this project challenges slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So once again, new slide, create a blank slide. Let's start with a rectangle. Go to insert and then shapes, and I'm just going to create this. Remove the outline, change the fill to this brown color, and I'm going to extend it till we have it covering the entire height of our slide. Let's change the width to 7.5. Now let's insert our heading text. So I'm going to go to insert and I'm going to go to text box. Let's move on to the next one, and it's going to be success metrics. I'm going to just paste that here. Select the text, change this to playfair display SC, size is 44. And maybe we'll have to move it eventually, but let me just leave it there for now. Let me create a copy of our text itself, creating a new text. I'm just going to create a copy of this, and I'm going to bring this one, let's say, around here. Change the color to white, change the text to our body text, and the size for this is going to be 28. And the first item here is going to be outcomes. I'm going to copy that and I'm going to paste it. Let me reduce the width to something smaller like this. I'm going to leave the alignment to the left. Let's create another copy of this. I'm using Control and Shift, and I'm going to create yet another copy, and I'm going to try and keep their spacing equal, but when we create other content here, we might still have to change it, so don't worry too much about it. I'm going to go to the content. The second one is KPIs achieved. I'm going to come here, paste, wrong, Control A, then Control V. We have this, and I'm going to copy the final one, which is impacts. I'm going to paste that. So I won't even bother for the spacing for now. Like I said, we're going to add other content here, so I'll just add them, then we'll figure out all the other spacing. Once again, we can just grab a copy of this heading text, and I'm just going to create a copy, and I'm just going to create a new copy here. So let's change this to body text, which is Mongolian Baiti. This time it's going to be 66 for the size, and the color is going to be this brown color. I'm going to just copy the entire thing, and this is 27%. Let me reduce the width to this, change the alignment to center. Let me increase it because we're going to have I want to reuse this text. We're going to have a 3 digits number, which is 100. We're going to have 100%, so I'm just going to make that longer. Now I'm just going to create a copy so it's exactly the same width. I'm just going to change, okay, we're going to leave that as it is. What we're going to change is the size. It's going to be 20, and the fill is going to be black. Now let's go and grab our text for 27% as this. I'm going to copy that, come here and paste it here. So we have this. Now I want to check the spacing. I want it to be even closer than this. So I'm going to select this text, and I'm going to bring it. I'm using my arrow key, and I'm going to bring it as close as, let's say, something like this. and I'm going to select this two, and I'm going to group it. Now we're going to use this to create the other key metrics. So you can just go ahead, select this and create multiple copies. I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to select this two, and I'm just going to create a copy and bring one down. So now we can now bring in our other content. So start with this, copy this, come to the first one, and we're going to paste, grab the contents, the text, copy that, come here, select everything, and then paste it. Next, copy this, select everything, and then paste. Let's copy the text, come here, select everything, and then paste. Let's increase the width of this one. Let me just select this too, and I'll align it to the center so that we have equal spacing. And let's move on to this one. For the KPIs achieved, this is going to be 100%. I'm going to paste this and copy the text, and I'm going to select everything, paste. Final one is this, 90%, paste, and I'm going to grab the text, and I'm going to paste it here, copy everything, and then paste the content. Now the final text for impact, I'm just going to create another copy of this. Let's change this to Mongolian byte. The size is going to be 20. Every other detail remains the same. So I'm just going to grab the text and copy the text for impact, and I'm just going to paste it here. Okay, now that we have our content, we're just going to move things around so that they fit. So let me start with the heading. I'm going to select the heading, and I'm just going to use my arrow key to move it up a bit. For this, let me see, I'm trying to kind of, what should I use to guide myself, because this is PowerPoint. You just have to do things blindly sometimes, but rely on it to a certain degree. Okay, so PowerPoint seems pleased with that for whatever reason, so I'm just going to select that. And for the spacing here, let me see if I'll have any guides, and let me bring this closer. I think I'll prefer it here. I hope that's fine. Let me select all of this. I'm going to go to arrange, align top, arrange, and I'm going to distribute horizontally, and we have this. So I'm still trying to figure out the balance, but you know what, let's leave it like that. For outcomes, I'm just going to select this text, and I'm going to, let's say, move it like this. And what I'm going to do is select this tree, go to arrange, and I'm going to distribute vertically. Let's grab this, make sure it's aligned to this, and now it feels, if I try to align it to KPIs, it feels too close. So like I said, if this is a presentation software, it's a design software, but not necessarily high level. But we could do that, but let's not get too technical. I'm going to select this to arrange, align. I'm going to align top. These two are already aligned. Let's make sure that these two are aligned. I'm just going to arrange, align, and I'm going to align left. Let me select KPIs, and I'm going to use my arrow key to kind of eyeball it to, it doesn't need to be perfect because this one on top isn't perfect, so we just need to get it close enough. For impact, I'm going to just select it and bring it even lower. All right, let's try one more time and see if we can get um, a better distribution of our items. And you know what, I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm just going to bring this down. This we can actually try to align to a certain degree since it's just one item, but I'm just going to, I wanted to align it to the left, but I just realized it will look odd because this is in a group and the edge is different. So I'm just going to leave it like that. But yeah, you should have something like this. We're working with PowerPoint. If we wanted to get exact, we could use grid lines, but again, I just want us to have fun while we're building this. So don't take it too seriously. Just make sure that there's some alignments, and when you look at it, it doesn't look awful, basically. Okay, so let's go to the slideshow. And this is what we have. If you feel like things are off, or you feel like there's, the spacing isn't quite right, you can go ahead and change it. But I'm just going to leave it like this. And with that, we're done with this slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So once again, go to new slide, insert a blank slide. We're going to start with a text. So go to insert, and we're going to insert a text box. Let me go to my notes. I'm going to copy the title for this slide. I'm going to bring this in. I'm going to paste this. Now let's change it to Playfair Display SC. Size is going to be 44. Let me increase the width of this so that both of them will fit, and I'll change the alignment to center. And I'm just going to have it around here. May probably have to still move it around as we build the other parts of the slide. Let's now insert some icons. So go to insert, and let's go to icons, and I'm just going to give this a moment to load. And first icon is going to be Team, and we're going to use this let me search for Team, and we're going to use this one. Search for idea, and I'm going to, let's use this icon, and final icon is going to be target, and we're going to use this one. Let's insert all three icons. So their current dimension is 3.54. We're going to leave it at that. Change the fill color to brown color, and I'm just going to have this here. Let me just move this around. This is going to be the third one, this one is going to be second, this one is going to be first. But before we do that, before we align our icons, let's insert our text. So what I'm going to do is select this, and I'm just going to create a copy. Let's change this to our body text, which is Mongolian by T, and I'm going to change the size to 22. Change the alignment to left. So to make things easier for us, we're just going to select everything as a single text, and I'm going to just paste this here. Let's select this, make it bold, select this, make it bold, select these two items, make it a bullet point, and this we're going to make it bold. So, and yeah, I'm just going to, you know what, this looks fine, or maybe we could just maybe make it smaller because we're going to have an image here. So what I'm going to do, let me start with this heading. Let me move it to the side, let's see, somewhere like here, I guess. And I'm going to move this icon. Let me bring it closer. So I'm just going to kind of figure out where this one goes, and I'll use it to align the other icons. So I'm going to just, let's say, have it there. Now I'm going to grab this icon while aligning it to the text as best as possible, and I'm going to also align it with this other icon here. I can use my arrow keys to still move it around. I'm going to align this one too as well. Let me just use my arrow key to maybe move it like this. So yeah, we're done with this side. Now we can fill in this area. First off, let's insert an image. I'm just going to come here, and which image are we going to use? This one. I'm going to grab this and bring it in. So for the height of our image, I'm just going to change it to 14.3. Like that. Now let's just move it over here, and I'm just going to have it, at the center of the slide. Let me move it a bit. We may still have to move it. The final detail is we're going to add a sort of outline. So go to shapes, go to rectangle, and I'm just going to draw this. Now we're going to let's change the fill to no fill. And what we're going to do is go to outline, change the outline color to that color, and go to outline, go to weight, let's see, more lines, and we're going to change the width to 15 points, like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize this rectangle. So let's go to shape format. I'm going to change the height to 16, and the width is going to be 12.7. So I'm just going to select this I'm going to align it to the center, also align it to the middle, and I'm just going to, let me group it to make it easier to work with, and I'm just going to align it to the middle, and let me just nudge it in a bit just to make sure I'm going to align it to the middle. And yeah, that looks fine, and we are done with this presentation. Let's see it briefly in the slideshow, and yeah, this is what we have. We're done with our project retrospective slide. Let's move on to the next slide. So once again, go to new slide, blank. Let's start with our title. We're going to go to insert, then go to text box, and I'm going to copy the heading, which is acknowledgements, and I'm going to paste it here. Change it to the font to Playfair Display SC, size is 44, and alignment is center. Let's make this wider. Let's see, we may still have to move it around, but let's leave it there for now. So I'm going to go to my images. I'm going to select these 3 images, and I'm going to bring them into our presentation. So what I'm going to do, they all have the same dimensions. I'm just going to change the width to 9. Let me start with this. I'm going to change this to 9, and this final one is going to be 9 as well. This image is supposed to be in the center. Now this part may be a bit tricky because I want to crop the image a bit. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to go to crop, and I'm going to select this option, and I want it to be 11. If I can get 11, I'm just going to move this handle, and my eyes is here, so I'm going to increase this. Okay, currently it's 11.06. I'm going to leave it like that. So I'm using shift, and I'm going to move this into frame like this. Escape, select this, let's go to crop, and now that we've cropped this one, we'll just move this handle and PowerPoint to guide me and say, oh, you're in the right place. And I'm just going to do the same like this. Escape, same thing to do this one, go to crop, move the handle till you have this, and I'm going to just, you know what, I don't even need to, or maybe just slightly. Escape. Next, let's insert a rectangle. So I'm going to go to insert, shapes, rectangle, and I'm just going to insert this, and I'm just going to make sure it's supposed to be 9. Go to outline, set it to no outline, go to fill, and change the fill to brown color. The height of this is going to be 4.96, and I'm going to have this here. Before I duplicate it, I'm going to also add our text. So let's do that. Go to insert, go to text, and I'm going to copy the text here, and I'm going to go back to my presentation and paste this text. And I'm going to change the size to 20, change the color of our text to white, and of course we're going to use our body text, which is the Mongolian Baiti. I'm going to, let me extend this. And now I'm going to select this, make it bold, and I'm going to align the entire thing to the middle like this. Now we can, let me move this up like this. This one stays here. So I'm going to select this to text, and I'm going to create a copy, bring one here, grab another copy and bring it here. Now let's add our text. Let's copy this. I'm going to delete this part first because I don't want it to be bold when I put it. I want to do it individually. I'm going to paste that. I'm going to select this, make it bold, and I'm going to select this text box and move it down till it's on the center of that rectangle. Come here, select this. I'm going to copy that. Once again, I'm going to delete this first because I don't want the text to get bold, because that's what will happen. I'm going to select everything and paste, and I'm going to change this to bold. I'm going to just, let me reduce the width of this slightly so that we have this. So I'm just going to make sure it's aligned here. Now that we have all of this, we can now go ahead and group it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select this tree just to make sure. I'm going to align to the center, group, select this tree as well. Let's go to align to center, group, and finally this one as well. Let's align to center and then group it. So what I'm going to do next is figure out the alignment. Let me move this. Okay, and PowerPoint is indicating that the spacing between this side and this side is the same. Select all three, go to arrange, align, and distribute horizontally. And for the heading, I think, have I aligned it? Let's just, you can never be too sure. Okay, align center. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use my arrow key to kind of center it as best as I can. Okay, all right, we're done with this. Let's look at it in the, why do I feel like there's a bit of white space just there? All right, let's look at it in our slideshow, and I'm going to open this, and yeah, we have this, and we're done with the acknowledgement slide. Now let's move on to our final slide. So come to new slide, insert a blank slide. Let's insert a shape. So I'm just going to go to shapes, and I'm going to come to flowcharts, and I'm going to select this shape, and I'm just going to kind of draw one over here. So I'm holding shift, and I'm going to rotate this right at this angle, and I'm going to increase the height like this. Go to rotate and flip vertically. So for the height, this time I'm going to make it 8.5. Now come over here and then edit points. I'm going to move this so that it's around this, like if you look at the top on the roller, you'll see that it's around the, let me see, 5.5 mark. Just move your mouse till it's around the 5.5 mark, and I'm going to have this. So remove the outline, change the fill to brown color. Let's insert a circle. So insert shapes, an ellipse. I'm holding shift, so we have a perfect circle, and I'm going to have this. So the dimensions is going to be 10.6 by 10.6 by 10.6. And I'm going to change the outline to this outline color, and I'm going to change the fill to white, and I'm going to center it here, and I'm just going to move it till, let's see, we have something like this. Now we can insert our title. So go to insert, and we're going to insert a text box. Let's grab our title, which is conclusion and next steps. I'm going to copy that, draw it over here, and paste. Now let's change it to our heading text, and I'm going to change it to Playfair Display SC, and size is going to be 44. I'm going to increase the width of this so that it fits, and I'm going to change the alignment to center, and I'm going to move this text so it's centered on circle. I guess PowerPoint isn't helping me out. I'll just use align center and align middle. This looks kind of odd to me. Although it's aligned, it still feels kind of weird. How will I say it? So a lot of time designing takes a lot of eyeballing. You might align it, it's perfectly aligned, it still looks odd. Don't be afraid to move things around. I move things around all the time. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it like this. So I just moved it down a bit. Let's insert the other text. So I won't even bother. I'll just create a copy, and I'll have this. So I'll just have this on the center line here. Let's change it to the body text. Is Mongolian Bitey, and it's going to be 22. Alignment is going to be left. We're going to have 3 text boxes, so I'm just going to, why not, create the copies. Let me go to my notes, and I'm going to copy this text, and I'm going to come here, select everything, and paste. Let me just grab all the text before we format it. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste. Finally, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste it here too. Now let's format our text. Select this, make it bold, and select these 2 items, make it a bullet point, and then increase the width of your text small a little. So I'm going to select this bold, and I'm going to expand this a bit, and finally I'm going to select this, make it bold, and I'm going to maybe increase this one too as well. Oh, let me see, it's not resizing how I want. Well, there's no need to have all this extra space. Let me just have it here. So for the spacing, of course, it's going to be very simple. Let me just kind of bring this one in a bit, or you know what, let me see if PowerPoint will guide me from the top. Yes, yeah. And I'm going to select this tree, go to arrange, align, and I'm going to distribute vertically. And yeah, we're done with this particular conclusion side. So let's go ahead and look at it in the slideshow. And yeah, we're done with this. Is the conclusion and next steps slide. The final detail for this particular presentation as well as this video is going to be the transition. So I'm just going to scroll to the first slide, and I'm going to go to the transitions tab. I'm going to open this drop down, and I'm going to select uncover, increase the duration to 2, and we're going to click on apply all. So let's say it's in the slideshow. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to use my arrow key, and yeah, this is what we have. and we are done with this video. As I always encourage you, I would say maybe change the colors, maybe change things around, move things around. If anything feels off to you, you can go ahead and modify it. You don't need to use this for a project progress. You can use it for other things as well. This is a template and you can use it however you feel see fit. But in the future, I'll also upload other colors and other variants of this. But yeah, with that said, we have come to the end of this video and we are done with this project. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.